From the mysterious world of Hyrule, Gin has sent out a randomized force throughout the land. 4 brave souls have offered to join us in their journey. It's now being broadcasted directly to the comfort of your home. As we say, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to today's ALTTP daily race here on Speed Gaming number 4. Today we have ourselves a standard seed, and we have Gus, Relin Tankir, Orange, and Plasma Kappa. I'm Professor Rendra. Joining me in the group, like in the commentary booth, is my co-com Red Arbor. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing fine. Looks like we have 4 swords for our fighting for the crown here in this daily race. I'm not familiar with Orange, but I do know Gus, Roland, Tankir, and Plasma Kappa both are pretty strong runners. So that's going to be exciting.
I've been following Orange for quite a while. He's definitely an up-and-coming runner in the community. Obviously, Roland Tankir and Plasma Kappa are very well-known names within the community. I'm kind of the opposite with Gus. I have no clue who he is.
Well, I remember seeing some races from Gus and them being pretty good. So yeah. Either way.
All right, the countdown just happened on the SRL, and we'll see this appear on our screen. So, what are you expecting from today's seed?
Hopefully something fast, because we're speed gaming, not slow gaming.
Yeah, I don't want any resident sleepers in the chat because it's so slow.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be wishing for the opposite of what chat is probably gonna be wishing for. We have, I think it's 14 racers in this race.
Let me count this one out. It's actually 7 racers, and we're showing
7.
4 of them right now. So, as we'll see when we start up the race here, which...
Oh yeah, sorry.
And we're underway now. So, if you're not familiar with how Standard works, it's essentially if you were playing the original Link to the Past game. You start off waking up in Link's house, which has bombs, and you make your way over to Zelda's cell, rescue her, and then bring her to the sanctuary, and you're good to go. I see crystals. I see a crystal on Tower of Hera that's red, and then the other crystals are blue.
Yeah, 3 crystal light worlds. Eastern Palace, Tower of Hera, usually fairly early, accessible fairly early on. Desert Palace is always a fickle beast. Sometimes you get access really early on, if you say find a book. Sometimes, however, access to Desert Palace can be very elusive. So at least completing all 3 of these dungeons should be fast. We get a bow as our starter weapon, and we also got, as you mentioned, the bombs and Link's House, which means back of escape is not going to be a problem. Now, bow start is one of my favorites.
Yeah, bow start, you get 30 arrows to work with, and it's really handy. So you may have noticed too, if you're not familiar with Standard as well, when we play on randomized swords, we are given a random starting weapon that is used throughout the game. It could be like the bow that we just picked up, the can of Samaria, the can of Burna. It can be bomb. It can even be 10 bombs, which we do bomb escape for.
Yeah.
And looking at the sprites right now, I see Gus is running the Zora sprite, Round Tankira is running his typical Samus Aran sprite, Orange is Mog, the Moogle from Final Fantasy VI, and Plasma Kappa is Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
Ooh, and we get the hook shot. That is actually pretty cool, because the hook shot allows us to not only access the stump prize, but also for some cool mobility tricks using pots and statues, as you just saw there on Orange's end.
Yeah, the hook shot is very handy for small bursts of speed, and it's very helpful because, like you said, you can hook on the pots, hook on the statues. You can even use it as a stun on certain enemies, so we can figure out what the stun prize is.
Yeah.
And on the boomerang chest, we found a piece of heart.
I mean, considering the 3 things we found so far, having just a piece of heart in Escape is, can't all be good.
Yeah. So now we're heading into Zelda Cell. Those bow shots will be pretty easy to take care of that ball and chain guard, and we get the Dark Cross key. So there will probably be an item or the map in the Dark Cross chest. Now, a couple of things that we're looking for is that we're looking for that map. Now, the map, why it's so special about the map? Well, if we don't find the map in the rest of the game of the escape sequence, we can assume that the map is going to be in the sanctuary chest, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's one of the most basic item counts you can do. Just keeping track of where that map is. And where that small key for the Dark Cross door is.
Yeah, and typically this dungeon usually has this technically a quote-unquote a dungeon is 6 items. So it has 6 items in total, which ties Swamp Palace as having the most items in a normal dungeon that is not Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, but who considers the escape as a dungeon? Like, yes, it has a big chest, or like a big key rather, and yes, it has, like, technically speaking, the Fallen Chain Guard is the boss, but
Well, I mean, if you're playing an entrance, and it kind of you consider it as a quote-unquote dungeon. And another thing to note, if those who are not familiar with standard, the reason now there's a light cone that everyone has when they're going into the sewers, although they don't have the lamp, because the game is hard-coded to give you the lamp when you have Zelda. When you drop off Zelda, you will lose the light cone until you eventually get the lamp. And we kind of refer to this as Zelda's lamp. Not officially, but it's kind of considered that because you're holding on to Zelda and you're having that light cone. So at least you can see through the sewers.
I mean, technically speaking, there are scenarios where you might have to come back through this section. If, say, the only glove that you can access is in the back of Escape and you don't get any bombs at the start, so you have to go through the dark section of the Escape again. The light cone is still going to be there in case the lamp is locked behind the glove.
Right. So there's that map that we mentioned earlier, and just 300 rupees in a heart piece. That Dark Cross only had 20 rupees. Yeah, and to clarify 7-2, Turtle Rock does technically have 6 items if you were to count Mimic Cave, but by most trackers that track the game, by most trackers it will usually say 5 items.
Yeah, Mimic Cave technically is not part of. Oh, there's a Moon Pearl in the Sanctuary chest. Wow, so it was pretty loaded escape sequence, really. If we're being honest, we got a bow, we got a hookshot, and we got a Moon Pearl.
Yeah, this is looking to be a pretty strong opening right now. With that Moon Pearl hookshot, starting to see a bit of signs of Aga 1, but it has not been. But of course, we need either 2 swords and a lamp, or sword, lamp, and the cape.
How is any, like, except for the Moon Pearl, but whatever. I mean, we need the Moon Pearl either way for Dark Relaxes or Aghanim 1. But
right.
How does the bow and the hookshot point towards Aghanim?
Well, the hookshot for if you want to go over the village of outcasts, and the bow is, I guess if you want to go through Pod.
I mean, I suppose, but I wouldn't say that suggests Aghanim. I think it's more suggests Eastside Dark Death Mountain and Eastern Palace.
I guess so. But anyway, we didn't find a whole lot in the Lost Woods, and now heading for Kakariko. We are now heading, since none of the runners have actually gone over to check out the lumberjack ledge, so we don't know if there's an important item that's locked behind Aghanim or not.
Yeah. A lot of runners will opt to skip that check and come back either when they have Darkworld access and Mirror, when they're like doing all those like Skull Woods, bumper ledge check and stuff, come back there, or when they have the boots and are in like the vicinity to do the Bonk Rocks and the King's Tomb, if applicable, and then they like dash up there. So that's why a lot of runners will skip doing Lumberjack Ledge. We did find the cape and the red boomerang here in Blind's Hut. Now, see, the cape is an indicator. You know, that's like
Yes.
that's a okay. We're a lamp and a sword away from having Logic Aghanim access.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, now you're right.
Now I'm on the right track.
It's just one piece of the puzzle, but I would not have read the bow in the hookshot as such.
I mean, again, if you want to be really technical, go to Village of Outcasts. But we did find a hammer and some more bombs in the well.
All right,
So
there is a very remote chance that we are not gonna find a glove in the light world. It's not very likely, I would argue. But the hammer is, for one, it's a weapon that doesn't use ammunition, and it also is one of the key pieces to open up the Dark World for us.
yeah, typically, if you're a Dark World access seed, requires you to have have the Moon Pearl hammer and gloves. Although it's also possible to get hammer. To have the hammer be missing, you have Moon Pearl and mitts. We did find a sword in the chicken hut.
Man, it's kind of like zigzagging between we're gonna have to fight Aga and we're not gonna have to fight Aga here.
Make up your mind, Seed.
But with the sword, that opens up a few things. For one, we don't have to use the hammer's awkward hitbox. Although you will still find, at least for bosses, a lot of the runners still use the hammer because it does a lot more damage than the fighter sword. But for like general enemies, knocking them away or killing them, the fighter sword is preferable because it's a lot faster and a lot more consistent.
And there's the other sword.
Well,
speaking of swords. So now
a
we're seeing more
Kakariko.
signs. Okay, so again, once again, make up your mind, Seed. Do you want
Right,
us to go Aga or do you not?
This is like, it might just be a red herring, but the Kakariko did have the Aga starter kit, so you know, we're only missing a lamp for logical Aghanim access, but we do have still the South Shore area and like some other item locations. We also can dip into Eastern. So yeah, plenty of time, or like plenty of locations left rather, to see if we have to get Dark World access or through Aghanim or not.
Yeah. So now at this point, I would imagine runners will head over towards South Shore, and that's what Plasma Kappa's doing. Maybe some others could also head over to the eastern area. Typically, though, most runners will head over towards South Shore because it's shorter and short of a distance, and Eastern is kind of sort of not really out of the way, but it's still within your range, technically speaking.
Yeah, I've seen. I've seen some runners just not do South Shore, like not really having the opportunity, so to speak, to do South Shore for like until like an hour in. But most runners will opt to do South Shore first. Basically, like the approach here is most people are gonna do it anyway, so may as well. You know, it's especially Mini Moldrum Cave is a decent item density location. And the Dam and Ice Rod Cave are, you know, not that much of a time loss additionally for 3 additional items.
Yeah, speaking of the dam, nothing really of importance was shown from that dam. While Plasma Kappa heading over towards the Mini Moldrum Cave using sword beams to take care of them, while Gus is going to go for the slash strats.
Gus does not have full health, but yeah, there's a very convenient magic refill for Plasma Kappa. I saw Blue Mail and a book in the Mini Moldrum Cave.
So that's actually not too terrible. So the book lets us head over to Desert Palace. Not full cleared, of course, because we need either if it's boots locked, then we would need the boots, but more importantly, a fire source.
Don't forget gloves as well. We can't
And a
even
glove,
access
too.
the back. Yeah, we can't even access the back.
And
So,
the gloves, yeah. So
yeah, we
or the front's available.
so we can do the front as much as the boots or the torch rather would light us, and then we can't have to bail. So I don't think the runners are gonna opt to do Desert Palace for now until at least they find the glove and the fire source.
And a lot of money and nothing else from Officer Hashirola's closet, while Gus finding just 20 rupees. Orange actually making the play over towards Agina and also the Desert Palace area, which, okay, you have the book in hand, you might as well follow the breadcrumbs there and not head into Eastern just yet, well, because that's exactly what Plasma's doing right now. Heading over to Eastern is because he was going to do the Eastern area.
Yeah, most runners will do this. So maybe Orange's mindset here is, I assume most of the runners are going to dip into Eastern rather than Desert. So I'll check Agina because that's like usually a very orphan check and see what Desert has. Orange can access whatever is on the ledge, and at least the front part of that Desert Palace. So.
Yeah, and that is also very important there for Orange, since the breadcrumbs led him over to this part. Orange finding a heart piece off of Agina's cave, and is going to use the book to move these statues and make their way over to Desert Palace.
And one of our trackers, Razor Flame Coon, big shout outs to them, and Darak Sharna, I hope I pronounced it right, for being our trackers and keeping us honest. But one of our trackers here, Razor Flame, saying that a bottle was on Hyrule Island.
Okay, so we'll obviously need gloves. Well, we do need Dark World access, yes. But we also need the flippers in the mirror in order to grab that bottle. And there's still like 3 bottles left. And there's the lamp. Now Aga is open.
Yeah, that also means that Desert Palace is boots locked because this should have a key. Either the big or the small key. Yeah, it's a small key.
Okay.
Or it's just walking over to confirm that, yes, indeed, it is. Like, which probably wanted to know which key it is to, prepare mentally. So there was a lamp in Desert Palace, and that's one of the 2 items there. And Orange is going to take that lamp straight into Eastern Palace because now Orange has logically full access to it.
Yeah, logically, the dungeon requires you to have the bow and the lamp, but we did see a big key pretty early on. If we were to find a fire rod, then that would still be the back of Eastern Palace would be in logic, but not the big key chest.
Yeah. Luckily, the big key chest is one of the way to the big key chest is one of the easiest set of dark rooms in the game. So most runners are very well familiar with those dark rooms.
Yeah, it's one of the more. It's a very straightforward dark room. It's nothing too out of the ordinary. Big key chest given on 3 bombs.
Yep. That is one of these items in Eastern Palace here. We're going to see the big chest momentarily. Oh, we already saw the big chest. Oops. So then Plasma Kappa is then on the way to the boss. These dark rooms are slightly trickier because you have to line up the Igor, as you can see Plasma Kappa using the bow there to... it's finally woken up, okay. Struggling there a bit, waking up that Igor. Because if you wake it up and it walks and you don't hit it with the arrow, you might lose track of it. So that's why Plasma Kappa was inching forwards very slightly until it woke up and then just could shoot it.
Yeah, this is it's a fairly it's slightly tricky, but once you know how the pattern, how to effectively get into that room, it shouldn't be too difficult. So Plasma Kappa made it through, but Orange has logical access, like we mentioned before, because that lamp was in the Desert Palace, and we know that it is boots locked. Plasma onto the Armo sign, setting up for the quick kill, which does get hit there, so loses the quick kill. Its timing is fairly tight, but if you know what you're doing, it shouldn't take you too long to memorize. But Armo's gift is out 20 rupees, and at 18-16, Plasma Kappa has drawn first blood.
Yeah. So we are out of checks, aren't we? Out of logical checks.
Yeah. That tells me that Orange has That tells me that Orange, he made the right call to go over to Desert, get the lamp. And that means we need to kill Aga 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, as far as our item layout is concerned, we don't have anything that opens up any additional checks in it.
Yeah,
because for Zora we would need the flippers or the gloves, and for say Tower of Hera we would also need the gloves or a flute, or like just Death Mountain in general, not just Tower of Hera. Looks like Plasma Kappa is setting up for fake flippers here. This is an avenue that might lead us to skirting around Aghanim, but it's just a couple of checks. We don't necessarily need the mirror for Hera. Yeah, we have the hammer and we have the hook shot, so we can go the long way around East Death Mountain. We just need access to Death Mountain in the first place.
Underneath the bridge, getting out 10 arrows, and Plasma Kappa actually did fake flippers from the top. Typically, you would do it from the bottom, but the reason why he did that is he did something known as splash delete, which by overloading the some slots known as Ancilla slots, which is a variable in the game that deals with various stuff that I can't really go into too much detail about because it gets complicated. But by overloading those Ancilla slots, you're able to delete the splash effect that happens when you drop into the water, and you will gain the fake flipper state.
Yeah, and with the Moon Pearl in hand, Plasma Kappa can pick up those waterfall chests, waterfall fairy chests as well. Let's see what we have here: a piece of heart and 20 rupees. So far, the flipper checks not being what we're looking for. There's still hope. Of course, Zora Ledge would definitely require a splash deletion for access to it. And it's just 20 rupees, so we're not going to have to worry about that. Maybe King Zora himself has something, but the likelihood of us having to do Aghanim is going through the roof, as they say.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Orange decides to head over to Zora Aghanim right away. And yeah, we have to go to Aghanim. Because Zora just paid out just 10 arrows and nothing, and that obviously means it's nothing. So Orange making the play over towards the Zora to Aga, which is correct. Nothing too crazy, and Orange is the first one to do this because he got the lamp before anyone else, because he diverged off of the beaten path and going over to Eastern. Where everyone goes to Eastern, he went over to Desert Palace, got the lamp, and that's how you're supposed to. And by logic, you're supposed to clear out Desert and, well, not clear out Desert. You're supposed to get the item from the lamp from Desert, head back into Eastern, clear that out, and then head into Aga 1.
I mean, theoretically, since there was nothing in Eastern Palace, you could have done Eastern Palace whenever you wanted, but what's the dungeon item in the that would be the glove. The glove is in the Desert Palace item in vanilla. But partially, I think partially why Orange was is a little bit ahead is the dark rooms, of course, being a bit easier for them because they could just they could easily navigate it without having to worry about the Igor and everything. And yeah, and of course, Plasma Kappa has done also those fake flipper checks, so that's why Plasma Kappa is the furthest behind, quote unquote. Does have, of course, the time it takes to do those flipper checks ahead of them if the other runners end up doing them.
Yeah, and this is this alone. Now this is you could if you really wanted to go through Aga 1 without the lamp, but it's exponentially harder and it's also out of logic.
Yeah, the Aghanim's Tower Dark Rooms are among, I would argue, among the harder ones. I wouldn't say they're like the hardest, but they definitely are like in the upper echelon there. Yeah,
and typically that's why you need, like, by logic anyway, you need the lamp for it. But you might be saying, oh, why not? Why just the lamp? Why not the fire rod? There's not enough torch boxes to light using the fire rod. There's only like a handful of rooms that have torch boxes in them, and those are like the more annoying rooms, like the dark maze here, and then this other room, which I think is either, I forget which one it is. I know that these room names have to do something with melancholy and despair, but I forget which one is what.
I don't know the room names. I just know there's the dark maze. I think there was one with like the bridge you can fall off of.
This is the bridge room, yeah, and that has a torch.
And there's one, and one other one has a torch, which is the one with the dagger guards that you have to kill for the key.
Yeah, but Orange is on top of the tower. This is not an official game by any means, but we'll still play it anyway. Aga 1 can fire between 0 and 15 blue balls. If you want to guess how many blue balls are in the chat, or how many blue balls, go ahead. And I will actually explain the fights for those who are not familiar with the Aga 1 fight, because Aga 1 Z's are not common. They pop up every once in a while, but they're not common. But the fight works as simple. It's a 5-stage process. The first one will always be a red ball, no matter what. Attacks 2 through 4 can either be a red ball or a blue ball. It's a 50-50 shot. And the blue balls do absolutely nothing. They don't hurt Aghanim whatsoever. And the 5th attack will always be a lightning attack, and the process continues until you get 6 blue balls, or 6 red balls into Aghanim. And we always have 2 blue balls. And the Aga fight is also seeded unless you die. Then you have a different fight entirely.
I'm also guessing 3, because that's the statistically most likely.
Yeah, the most likely of the blue ball guesses is 3. The average around 3. Now that's 4. Oh, this fight sucks.
Yeah. Aghanim not very cooperative today.
Yeah, it's already 5 blue balls. 6. What? Come on, Aghanim.
It can't be max because the very first phase had one.
Right.
This is already like really gross. So
that's already what, 8?
Yeah, that was 8.
Ugh, jeez. Not 8 blue balls. 8 blue balls. Are you kidding me, Aghanim? Ugh. Alright, we finished up Aghanim, and we got our map check here. Green Pennant, Thieves Town, and Penance on Turtle Rock and Ice Palace.
And the other 5-6 crystal was Pod.
Yeah. And a heart piece for Orange's troubles. A bigger kick in the teeth for Orange, I would guess.
Well, I mean, Orange does have everything needed to clear Palace of Darkness, which is why Orange is heading there right now.
Yeah, at this point, you're forced to head over to. You're forced to head over here.
No, you're not. You can hook shot. You can hook shot over.
Well, yeah, I completely forgot about the hook shot, but but I mean, you have access. You have access to Village of Outcasts. You have access to Hype Cave if you really wanted to go down Hype Cave after Pod. Typically not, but. But like our only way of accessing the Dark World at this current state is through the eastern area, unless we get a glove. Until we eventually get a glove, which it has to be. But by my guessing, it had to be here. If not, have to go the long track toward the Village of Outcasts. Answer question, chat. How early was the hammer in the seed? Hammer was fairly early. That was in Kakariko, in the well.
It wasn't a well. But that said, with there are two pretty gross pendant dungeons here. We have Ice Palace and Troubled Rock, which means, yeah. That's if we need to go into those, that's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, Ice and Turtle Rock are pretty bad spots for pendants, and Thieves Town being the green pendant is, I mean it's fine, but not still that. But hey, there's a mirror.
Mirror is a great find.
Unless we're talking about mirrors from Magic the Gathering, but that's a completely different story.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know because it's a Magic the Gathering thing. But we're going to get to the Bullock side of Pod now.
Yeah, we are going to see what is hiding behind those mimics. Probably some keys, I imagine. But, you know, you never know. We did find one item in the arena chest, which means that there can only be one more item in the front of Pod. Yeah, it's 2 keys. Yeah, so in case you don't know how the key logic in Palace of Darkness works, the front of Pod has 6 item spots. At least 4 of these item spots have to be small keys. If you find 2 items, whether it's dungeon items or item pickups, that means all the rest of the chests are small keys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Orange is opting to do a hammer jump, or a hammer jump if you don't want to do the Swedish naming for this. Opted not to get it though, but it's a double pixel perfect bomb jump that you have to put yourself at a specific Y coordinate, place a bomb, and then go onto another specific Y coordinate. And if you get it right, you'll bomb jump on top of the railing, and then you'll be able to climb up that and get over to the darker base without having to waste a key. Generally, this is done in Key Sandy or any mostly Key Sandy or map common small key shuffles to save on small keys.
Retro as well.
Retro as well, that too. But we don't talk about retro.
We don't talk about retro unless we play retro.
But still, no one plays retro.
Oh well.
Hey, Desert Palace is now open.
Yeah, boots open up not only Desert Palace, but also a couple more checks. With that mirror, we have access to King's Tomb and, of course, Bonk Rocks.
And Big Chest has 50 rupees.
So we're gonna see Orange gonna gun for King Hummus or not.
Gus tried to do the hamburger jump I was talking about. Did not get it. I think it must have been off a pet may have got the wrong pixel for that, or maybe got the wrong pixel for the bomb, or wasn't aligned properly on the. But like I said, it's a double pixel perfect bomb jump, and it's a tricky bomb jump if you're not familiar how to don't know how to set it up. Oh yeah, too. That's also a good point too. We still have to get those gloves if we were to ever to full clear it. But even then, the boots in hand, that still opens up more the front of a Desert Palace. Round tank here on the Helmut King fight, while Orange is on the way over to the Helmut King fight. Plasma Capo head down the stairs, also heading over to the Helmut King fight. Am I sounding like a broken record? Yes, I am.
There's a question in chat in regards to Rollin doing the boss first. That is because there is, if you full clear the dungeon, there is a chance that there is going to be an item on the boss, and since you have to kill the boss anyway, you may as well do the boss first, since you're going to be mirroring out of Palace of Darkness to get to the entrance anyway. So it's more time efficient if there is an item on the boss to do the boss first.
Yeah, generally, it's a interesting call from Rail and Tank here to do this, because we figured out eventually we found out that all 5 items were in were before Helmasar. I would agree. I would do this play if it was Ambrosia, which is another version of Standard that we run on occasion, which is standard a standard seed, but we also have an assured sword, and the Uncle gives out the boots location, and every boss will have an item that is not a dungeon item.
Even without it being Ambrosia, you have to do the boss anyway. So right. You may as well do it first in case there is an item, and you can save yourself, opening more chests. In this case, of course, as said, it didn't matter because there was the map on the boss. But and of course, as it's pointed out there in chat, it's probably a bit of a wash considering the boots were in the Dark Maze. So the time that Rollin would have saved if there was an item on the boss is basically left there. But just like. Generally speaking, like in this particular scenario, it might not have to save time, but generally speaking, it often saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'm more just thinking a more practical way of doing it, but I'm just applying that kind of logic to this. But yeah, it does work if it does work. I mean, it has 5. Palace of Darkness has 5 items anyway, so not a big deal. Orange heading over towards the Catfish area. I would eventually heading over to the Catfish area. Maybe also actually heading over to the Village of Outcasts area. This is also fine because you have the boots in hand. You have got the boots. You could do you can do all the boots checks.
Yeah, you can do Flank Shuri, including Graveyard Ledge. We can also check Bumper Ledge, we can check Lumberjack, we can all these northern checks around the Sanctuary. We can all clear out both Dark and Light World once. So really, this is very feasible. And since Plasma Cap was the only one who has done the Zora area as well, with Mirror in hand, it's not like Orange is orphaning Catfish. Orange would probably opt to, go to Catfish and mirror over to do the Sora area at some point.
Round heading over to Hype Cave. This is also, I mean, it's fine too. You're heading a little bit downwards, and nothing of worth, and probably Round's thinking, why is it called Pipe Cave in the first place? Just because it's something for version 18, and it has started to lose its flavor for the past, couple versions.
There's a mushroom in the Graveyard Ledge. That is, one of those fetch quests. Yeah. loaded item, as all fetch quests are. We have no idea whether or not this is going to be relevant. Chances are it isn't, but, you know, who knows?
Yeah. So Plasma and Orange are doing their boots checks. King's Doom had nothing but a piece of heart, and Orange is going to check out the Bonkrux right now.
Chad bringing up actually a good point. We can't access Catfish. We don't have a glove.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
And Gus saying, like, why is this called Hype Cave again? I don't know.
And we're gonna see the bumper ledge here off of Orange. Nothing there. And as I mentioned at the start, this is basically, you know, the play that most runners will do. Either like they're gonna check the lumberjack ledge, or since we already had to kill Aghanim anyway, just gonna blind pick it.
Yeah, this will be pretty huge for Orange if you find something of use. But I mean, to be fair, it's okay. So it's a piece of heart, nothing really of importance. But like you said, you're in the area, you might as well just pick it up now. Gus check out the Bumbo Shop tablet. Round Tank here had a lot of digs for 50 rupees. And jackpot from Gus, which is 300 rupees.
So we are 25 according to our tracker, Racing Flame, 25 digs, which is near the maximum, which is up to 30. Also, bonjour to the Speed Gaming Francais crew that has been rating us here.
Yeah, a total of 99 French viewers here. Welcome. This is the ALTTP Daily Race. Today we have a standard seed. We and our winners are Gus, Round Tank here, Orange, and Plasma Kappa. It would turn out to be an Aga seed. And Piece of Heart was on Lumberjack Ledge, and we had found the boots in Palace of Darkness, and our lamp was in Desert Palace, which we need to get into to clear Aga 1 anyway.
We're seeing Orange here in Skullwoods.
And Gus check it out to K45.
Yeah, we have a few runners going into Village of Outcasts from the south. Just a bug at K45. Gus isn't even opting to pick it up. Some of them from the south route, and Orange has entered through the north here, doing the flank sherry checks.
Yeah, and for context to what flank sherry means, it's the boot checks.
It's the checks that flank the sanctuary.
That flank the sanctuary, yes, and that'd be the King's Tomb, Graveyard Ledge, and the Bonk Rocks.
Yeah.
And more fetch quests ahoy as we find Shovel over on Orange side in Skull Woods.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the two items that can be in Skull Woods. Small key. That means the other item is in the back or in the big chest. Since the big key would have to be in the back, unless the big key's locked itself away, which is a thing that can happen in this dungeon.
Yeah, Plasma Kappa heading for Green Pendant Thieves Town. It's fair. You'll get the Green Pendant here. It's not a dungeon that is that bad to go through, in my opinion, because you will have another item available. You have a total of 5 items if you were to count the Green Pendant. Typically, Thieves Town has 4 items. And okay, that paid off, but that's a rod.
That's a fire rod, yeah.
A fire rod, yes.
I'm pretty sure it was a fire rod, yeah.
Yeah,
yes, that guaranteed big key. Yeah, I think that was a fire rod. I'm not sure though.
It looks like our tracker was saying. I'd have to look at his inventory.
Yeah, okay. We're getting confirmation from chat, and chat is never wrong. It was indeed a fire rod. It was indeed a fire rod.
They have better resolution than us.
Yeah, Plasma Kappa had their inventory open for like just a second, and I didn't catch if it was the fire gas. Unfortunately.
Yeah, they have better. Twitch chat has better resolution than us.
Okay, that's definitely a fire rod. Orange's stream is a bit clearer here on the commentary stream, so yeah, that is definitely fire rod.
And this is going to be good news for Orange because after he's finished up with Thieves Town, he can go back into the back of Skull Woods and clear that out, clear it out right away. And I wouldn't be surprised if Plasma Kappa, after finishing up Skull Woods, will give us a pedestal check because we have that mirror and book in hand. It's a simple mirror way to check the pedestal.
Yeah, and even though it's not very likely that there's something of use there, it is still good information to have in case there is.
Yeah, information is very very nice, and as it goes, knowledge is power, and definitely it gives you more information about whether or not you need to get the great dependence or not. Plasma Kappa now onto the Mafia fight. And some spins, that fight went down. That fight was pretty quick, and there was the other item that is 20 rupees, so we don't have to worry about that big key anymore. Oh!
Power Glove in the attic in Thieves Town.
French vanilla, too.
That's true. It's true.
That is one of our vanilla, as is a glove that can appear in this particular dungeon. And Plasma Kappa had to skip it. So Orange has some more stuff to do now. It now has access to the mountain. And
I mean, if I were in Orange's shoes, I would take the fire rod right back north, kill Mafia, grab that crystal, see if there's something on pad, and grab that second item so I can completely finish this corner of the map.
And there's that pedestal check from Plasma, and not surprisingly, it's Cash. Move right along, and Plasma Kappa is going to move right on. We don't have to worry about pedestal, and like I said, knowledge is power. We don't have to worry about dependence, unless there's some items in dependent. Dependent dungeons have important items. I know, Chad, you like your pedestal seeds, but I mean, it's not common, like we mentioned. Orange is now on the blind fight, and it's gonna get the green pendant.
Yeah, the legendary Aghanim pen required seed, or that the actual Oops All Dungeon seed is very very scarce. So
yeah, I mean, if someone says like that pair is rare nowadays, no, it's not just rare; it's very very rare, like ultra rare, legendary.
Just some bombs on blind, but those gloves, it's definitely worth it. Now the question is, when are we gonna come? When is Orange gonna be able to come back to Sahasrara? I think Orange has checked everything but the catfish area that is like in that vicinity. So
Orange is going to check out the chest game. Only a heart container.
yeah, with Ice Palace and Turtle Rock being both being pendant dungeons. Turtle Rock requires a lot of items to get into, and Ice Palace is no slouch either. You need the mitts, you need the flippers, and you need the fire rod and the hammer, to get to there. So the likelihood of that having been something, not really. The only items that could have been on pedestal would have been flute and a Meyer medallion, if it's not the TR medallion.
Yeah, and that is true. I did mention this in the chat. Really, Ice Palace and Turtle Rock are bad pendant dungeons because the stuff that gets locked away from it there's quite a lot. By logic, the flippers are required for Ice Palace, but you can't fake flipper it, and that's what I consider it to be a soft flipper lock, and not a hard flipper lock. A hard flipper lock is Swamp Palace. A soft flipper lock, in my opinion, is Ice Palace.
I mean, yeah, it's logically you would need the flippers to access it, but you can't just fake flipper over. However, since just in terms of like following where your items lead you, you can determine that with flippers being required, depending on where you find them, if you find them, anytime soon. Could be that flippers are going without them today. For all we know, or rather, where they are can lead you to understand. Okay, this is not likely to be a thing.
Right. Orange has dropped down into the Mafia fight. Also going to use these the sword spins to get some tempered sword damage out. Typically, sword spins go. Typically, the sword spins to go in the order of the appearance. Fighter sword will do master sword damage. Master sword will do tempered sword damage. Tempered sword will do gold sword damage, and it caps out at gold sword damage for gold sword. But by that point, why are you using sword spins for gold sword? You should probably be using slashes. That is Orange's third crystal, though for Mafia.
Mm-hmm. So now that Orange has completed Skullwoods, the world is their oyster. We're gonna get
I thought the world was their floater. I'm sorry, but I have Final Fantasy 1 in my mind. And did Orange not get the green pendant? Did he die in Days South?
No. It's probably just the tracker didn't update.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So yeah, now the question is, where does Orange go from here? Death Mountain is open. That's very appealing. We can access the other 5-6 crystal, and there's a lot of items up there. Even if we can't access Dark Death Mountain just yet, we're also gonna get a new save spot or save point there, which is also good. I think Orange hasn't done. Yeah, hasn't done the South Dark World checks yet, so that's probably gonna be where they're gonna be heading here.
Yeah, they're gonna probably at that point. At this point in time, this is a tough one. Because we're at this point crossing over each other's footsteps. But although we are going to get some new information, and that is going to be the mushroom turn-in from Plasma Kappa.
Yeah. Orange. Orange has not been to Hyde Cave yet, so I think that's where the destination is. Eventually.
Yeah, and that, in my opinion, you should be able to. You could probably route that in over to Desert Palace, read the Bombos tablet, and make their way back over to Desert Palace, clear it out, and then it'll be all happy day. All happy days.
Oh man, the very clean, exactly 1,000 rupees for Orange there.
Nice.
All right. So it looks like Plasma Kappa is poking back over there, towards the graveyard.
And Gus is going to pick up that glove from off of the sunroof.
Orange opting to pick up the bug net.
Yeah, I mean, the bug net is a nice safety to have when we get bottles. We do know of one bottle, and that is on Lake Highlight Island, and we don't have the flippers for it yet.
It also allows for a little cleaner menuing to have that inventory slot filled.
Yeah, menuing is a pretty important thing to have when playing this game. Sometimes when you have your menu currently as is, it gets kind of tough to route in your menu given the way that the menu works. But if you want to, if personally, the best runners know how to menu properly.
Oh,
it saves them a lot of time in the menu.
Yeah, but even some of the very best runners, opt to pick up nets or items that are not required, just to save like a little bit of time menuing, because sometimes like you have some holes that might make it a bit inefficient.
Yeah, and that is always nice to have, just for the sake of that. Just have a better menu overall. Possibly gonna get the glove, and actually gonna be leaving the big dip. It's actually gonna be leaving the green pendant alone.
Yeah, I kind of understand why, but let's hope it doesn't come back to bite plasma.
Yeah, because Sahasrah is still open. And Rowland, Tankir, and Plasma Cav are heading up the mountain.
Orange, in the meantime, is doing exactly what you suggested earlier, picking up the bombs tablet and taking those boots and gloves and fire right back into desert.
Yeah, and this makes a lot of sense in my opinion, because because you're riding this, you're heading from Thieves Town, from Skull Woods all the way down towards the rest of the South Dark World that you haven't done already. That of which being Hype Cave, the Digging Game, all that. And you've already gone there once to get the green, to get the lamp from out of it. By logic, we're supposed to get this. It's supposed to be a double dip. So heading here when you have a shot to do it makes tons of sense. Oh, there's the Titan's mitts.
Speaking of shots, the old man had a very nice fridge rod for us, and as you mentioned, also a very conveniently placed Titan's mitt. That means we can basically clear out all of this this section except for the Turtle Rock stuff.
Yeah, because we only came for that. And that ice rod currently does not really do much, because considering that we know that Turtle Rock is a pendant, it's kind of unlikely that Trax would have something on him.
I mean, I wouldn't still completely disregard Turtle Rock.
No.
Because say Flipper's go mode still, on the table. A flute can be basically anywhere.
Yeah. Even Talbot check for plasma. Oh, there's that's technically a vanilla item, but it's not the correct medallion. That's Bombos.
Indeed, one of the 3 medallions that might be required for our Mire access.
Chocolate, yeah, that from Wolfman 2000 are a handy dandy helper for us today. It's chocolate. Makes me want to get some chocolate. Mint chocolate chip ice cream, more specifically. I love that ice cream flavor. Gus is gonna get the bombos for the ether tablets. Paradox much? Yes.
Looks like Rollin is dipping into Top Hera, while Plasma Kappa is opting to do the rest of the mountain first, for going for Hera.
Also, the big key chest looked like it got the big key chest of, or is that call for that? Or oh, it looks like we did find out big key chest. It looked like they had silver arrows. Yeah,
the second bow upgrade. There is a tempered sword. Very nice. That is going to make the Molder fight a little easier for Plasma Kappa.
Oh yeah, it was the big chest that had silvers, not big key chest, because that's all the way to the basement. Oh, there's the flippers.
Oh, there's our flippers. So Death Mountain already decent value. We got not only a crystal, but we got perhaps the medallion required for Mire. We got some sword upgrade, and we got the flips.
So at this point, I would put Plasma ahead. Like at least in a current a decent advantage. Orange, since while he did get a crystal, nothing really showed up that's worth it. But Orange is gonna head up the mountain, like everyone else is doing. So he will get the mitts. He will get the Hera crystal. He will get silvers. He will get temper sword and flippers. A lot of values here.
Yeah, for sure. Like the time difference here is, like maybe a couple minutes between each other, and the race is far from over. There might still be a flute hunt or a medallion hunt before us, or a Samaria hunt for that matter. So,
right, that's true, because we still need to find Samaria. We need to find the flute. Ether is required for Turtle Rock. Again, Paradox much because we found bombs on Ether tablets. Plasma heading for Hookshot Cave. And Super Body Cave didn't really give us a lot to work with. There's our single arrow from off of Hookshot Cave. And yeah, nothing of worth.
And Plasma Kappa even had enough quiver space to add it to his inventory.
Yeah, that's always nice to have. Like, just have that one arrow. The one arrow that's needed to kill Ganon. The single arrow.
Yeah, I've seen like a couple of trackers also note it down as an item because it does count as a unique item for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, the single arrow is considered a unique item. A troll unique item, yes. But, and like, you might be wondering, wait, why is a single arrow considered a unique item? There is a hint system. We don't turn it on for these races, but there is a hint system. You can turn it on if you want, and there's some mentions that there is a unique item can be so and so, and one of those unique items is the single arrow.
Yep. Since there is only one single arrow item pack in the game. And we also saw a very nice Hera pot out of Plasma Kappa there.
Yeah, you also got the silver arrows there. Orange is going to get the Bombos tablet, Bombos from off of the Ether tablet. Again, it's a paradox. It's also chocolate. Again, mint chocolate chips, the best ice cream flavor.
Yeah, and with a swing and a spin, Molren goes down a little faster than having to aim the hammer or using Master Sword. So Plasma Kappa takes down Crystal number 4 and has now access to the Pyramid Fairy as well. I assume that Plasma Kappa is probably going to opt to jump down or use that portal and jump down to Spike Cave. Yep.
Orange also doing Hera pot. This one is more of a recent, not really like very, very recent, but it's still recent nonetheless. It lets you clip into this pot in Tower of Hera, and this pot lets you go all the way up to the top of Tower of Hera. Or we're just gonna get the silver arrows from off of Tower of Hera's big chest.
And looks like Orange is going to be the last one into Moldorm. Plasma Kappa, I assume, is going to make the Swamp play. That is a very logical play to make. Very high item density, Crystal Dungeon. We can full clear it. You know, there is... And you can... I assume that Plasma Kappa will, after this, route in Desert Palace as well, in like one stroke.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Plasma Kappa had already done the check for Babel's tablet. So this gives Plasma Kappa more than enough reason to go over to Desert Palace, clear that out, and put Orange on notice. And actually, since we just passed the hour mark, like about 3 minutes and 28 seconds ago, these runners are really good. Let's just put it simply, these are really good runners that we have. We have a total of 7 other runners. We're showing 4 of them on the screen, and it would be quite a pain, quite a sad day if you had not followed them. They are very, very good runners, like I mentioned, and I don't want to discount I don't want to discount our trackers too. Our trackers are the unsung heroes of the randomizer, of any randomizer, no less. Today we have Derek Sharna and Razor Flamecoon, and I'm Professor Render, and I'm Red, and my co-com is Red Armor.
You're Red Armor. No, I'm Red Armor.
It's
I'm Spartacus.
Well, then you're Professor Render, and I'm Red Armor. But we're taking the headsets today. Definitely don't want to Definitely, it's still pretty early on in the day, but actually about mid-afternoon here. Yeah, so Plasma Kappa and Valentine here right now in Swamp Palace.
It looks like Gus is headed that way as well. Yeah, I assume that Orange is going to follow suit after clearing out that mountain. As mentioned earlier, of course, they have cleared Desert Palace already, so that's where they are, quote-unquote, behind on. So they're going to make, while the other runners are going to be clearing Desert Palace, Orange is going to make a little bit of time up to them. So really, considering like we're a bit over an hour in, I would argue that even though Plasma Kappa has like a bit of a lead, it can still like go either way. There is like no super clear advantage here, I would argue.
Yeah, this is pretty much mid game here, and I really like what Plasma did. He did a diver down. This is one of the more recent glitches that was approved by the Racing Council. It's been pretty much about a month old at this point, but it lets you hop down onto a piece on a water layer that's in Swamp Palace, and it lets you do a number of things. What he did was the second water switch that let you go to West Side Swamp. This one lets you use some bomb setup. What Plasma did was he hit the bomb. He threw the bomb on the switch, and as the bomb was exploding, he moved it off the screen because the bomb is still exploding, but the actual crystal switch is despawned. And by doing a diver down through the second water switch and moving back onto that screen with the crystal switch, you hit the switch. It hits the switch that brings the blue pegs back up and lets you go over to left side swamp without having to spend a whole lot of time. Also, the snake card was picked up from Gus in the big key chest.
Yeah, Gus also picked up a gold sword in the cycle or the circle corridor there that Plasma Kappa is currently in. We'll also pick up that gold sword. Yep, there it is. Yeah, Diver Down makes left side swamp a lot more tolerable, and of course, we also can skip pushing the switch as Gus is doing here in the flooded room to drain that. I assume that both Rollin and Plasma, since they've done the diver down here. Yeah, Rollin is not Rollin. Plasma Cap is setting up for it right now. It's gonna do the diver down in this chest as well. This is a bit less of a time save, but it's still a bit of a time save. And especially if you pick up the items, there is the Ether Medallion.
So, if you want to be really mean, you find you get the cane, you find the cane, and go into Turtle Rock, and then you find the flute there, and then if you want to be extra mean, Myers Medallion's Quake. To answer your question, check bit chest was the Sanctuary Hearts, the only heart container in the game that fills you up to full hearts.
Yeah. Speaking of special item, special stupid items, the 10 bomb pack was on the left side swamp. That's random specific. That is the bomb pack that Uncle could give you for standard starts as with randomized swords as a starting weapon. That is always in the item pool as well in random.
And 3 bombs was on Argus, and that's another crystal for Gus and Plasma Kappa.
Yeah.
And eventually around Tankir.
Swamp Palace was a bust. Now Gus has not done left side swamp, which means that Gus might go back in. Since it was I think it was one item, right? Yeah, I think it was the map was the other item on the left side swamp, if I'm correct. The other one, of course, being that 10 pack of bombs. So, yeah. Okay. So, Darek is confirming that I'm correct. That it was the map, was the second item on the left side. So, just one item in Swamp. Pretty reasonable play to just skip it, even if the rest of Swamp didn't have anything, or at least anything like super important.
Okay, so Gus is going to get the bottle from off of the Lake Cali Islands, but Plasma Kappa is opting to go for the big bomb.
Yeah, using that bomb duplication glitch, making it a little bit faster.
Yeah, probably a more easier one because especially with because we killed Aga 1, there is that castle portal that happens when you cross the gates.
Yeah, and Raylan is gonna go towards Desert here.
Oh, there's Quake. So that takes care of our medallions, or pretty much okay for Meyer.
Yeah, we still, of course, need the flute and the Cane of Samaria. Although the Cane of Samaria could be Meyer, but we still need the flute to even, access Meyer.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, we do not have to worry about Medallion Hunt anymore.
Yeah, and Gus is opting to go for Ice Palace, which I feel it's okay. It's all right. This is you didn't find a whole lot in Swamp. Your best option at this point, your best option is to go next to Swamp Palace and head for Ice.
I mean, Gus would have still been able to. Wait, did Gus never clear Skull Woods?
I don't believe he did.
Huh. Well, in that case, you have Skull Woods to clear, you have Desert Palace to clear. Like, yeah, it's just one item, or 2 items. No, it has to be one item. Yeah, Gus does it the land. And the shovel as well. So one item from each of those dungeons. But it's crystals. You have to do them anyway. Unless Gus really feels behind right now, perhaps for doing Swamp Palace and it being empty. I honestly am not sure why Ice Palace would be the first choice here. Oh, didn't have Fire Rod. Thanks, Razor Flame. Okay. Alright, that makes sense then.
Yeah. Plasma Kappa is actually doing the Smith Chain. You did do Herapix first. Didn't find anything of use, though. But the Smiths are giving out 50 rupees.
Yeah, sadly, without the King of Samaria, and that is one of those items you're looking for. We couldn't do the fake powder, although I think Plasma Kappa has it in the mushroom already. And Plasma Kappa is lining up the purple chest glitch. which is also one of the somewhat more recently found things. If you line the purple chest up in a specific vertical position, you can fake, or like you can trick the game into thinking that that is with you, and that way, you just talk to the thief and hand it in.
It's actually if you talked to oh my god.
Well, that really paid off for Plasma Kappa. So now we're missing only Flute for Go mode for Plasma Kappa.
I was gonna say though, you could just like leave the chest anywhere, and if you get close to it enough to the old to the purple chest guy, you'll still pick it up. But that's a really big find for Plasma Kappa.
Oh, for sure.
And that like means Plasma Kappa, following the breadcrumbs, needs to head over to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, if Flute is here in Ice Palace, then that would be unfortunate for Plasma Kappa. If Flute is in TR, that's very unfortunate for both Orange and Gus.
Yeah, this will be pretty huge for both of those runners if they find that Flute in their respective dungeons that they're going to be heading into.
It's very possible that it's in neither dungeon, and actually, bloody Sahasrahla is holding on to it.
Yeah, Sahasrahla has been left unchecked too, and in Red Hammer, this could hurt any of the runners, like it could hurt Gus, Plasma, and Orange if Rel decides to head over to check out the Green Pendant.
Yeah.
It's way out of the way, yes, but where else are you gonna go?
So Ryland is taking the portal back into the Dark World. I assume... not sure which direction that is gonna be. Maybe Catfish?
Let me think. If Catfish has it too, again, this is gonna hurt pretty big for everyone else. Very clean fight for Gus. Oh no, Gus! Gus and Orange, they have control.
Well then, hello there.
They have control.
That said, Misery Mire is locked by Quake. Wait, is it Quake? Hold on. No, it's not Quake. We haven't beat the Mire. Duh, I'm an idiot.
No.
It's but if it is Quake, Plasma Kappa has found that, and of course the Cane of Samaria is in the purple chest, which is kind of like a I really want to do that. So, but that said, that is really bad for Plasma Kappa. There is absolutely nothing here in Turtle Rock that Plasma Kappa could find that is of any use.
Exactly.
At absolutely best, Plasma Kappa finds like the powder or a bottle with the blue goo or something in here, but that's just some minor safety. There's absolutely nothing of actual value in it. So yeah, that's Quake 4 Raylan from the Pyramid Fairy. And on goes the flute for Gus. Was that the bunny sprite? I think was Spunky for Plasma Kappa, wasn't it?
I'm not familiar with Rocco's Modern Life, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's Rocco's pet dog. And Sick Kid has some bombs. Wow. Who gave that to this child? That's dangerous.
I have no clue.
No wonder he's injured and sick. You know, if he's giving bombs toys.
Gus is heading back to Skull Woods. So Orange is gonna go and get the flute from off of Cold Stare.
Mhm.
At this point, we're in no mode.
Oh yes.
Now, Orange will have needs to go and do the Smith chain in order to finish off the seed and be in go mode.
Yeah.
Now,
possibly the Pyramid Fairy.
yeah. Now, I don't see Orange and Gus heading back to Pyramid Fairy until they figure out until it turns out it is Quig, and they need to head back there anyway. If this is the case, Plasma Kappa may have a shot to come to bring us back.
So Rollin is gonna do these like northeastern corner checks here with the witch, Zora, and Catfish. And then the big question: is Rollin gonna opt to do Ice Palace, Turtle Rock, or these overworld checks? Just gonna grab that heal from the apprentice and is on his way.
Yeah, this is a problem because the seed has opened up to you. You have like 3 options, and one of them is obviously one of them is the correct one. It's such a hard call to make. You have Rowan, of course, has to go to Ice Palace because that's where the fluid is, but also needs to do the Smith chain.
The French vanilla mirror sheet.
Nice.
It's alright. It was just it's just funny to me. There's like you basically have to guess. You know, so you have your options are Ice Palace, 3 items in it. Overworld checks with the Smith chain has like 4. Actually, no, 3.
Oh dear. I think I saw Quake.
Oh.
So Orange and Gus need to first of all get the cane. Okay, so that powder is actually good. Why? Because they can head over to the Smith chain and route their way over towards the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, this is having the Smith chain, like having the powder adds more appeal to doing the Smith chain because it's an extra check. Kind of burning here in checkerboard. So there is more allure to doing the Smith chain, which leads to the Cane of Samaria. And if you do the Pyramid Fairy, of course, like if you're already in that area and do the Pyramid Fairy, you'll also knock those 2 checks out, and that's where our runners have to go, not to Turtle Rock, as Plasma Kappa has just demonstrated. There's only a shield in there. All I'm gonna do is just shield. It even lacks the game a bit.
Yeah, the Mirror Shield does generate a lot of lag.
Yeah.
So Orange is heading to 3. Okay, so this is good because Orange is going to go and get the he's going to go and get the Smith. He will get the purple chest, get the cane. He will probably route it over to Pyramid Fairy, and that alone.
Oh no, there was an item in Hera basement. I totally missed that there was, and that means that that Plasma Cap is gonna waste a big chunk of time there too. Oh no.
Yeah, so at this point, I would put Orange ahead. Like, because at this point, Orange will get the cane from off of the purple chest, and then if he goes over to Pyramid Fairy, he'll be in go mode, and that is gonna be very excellent for Orange, because at this you'll have the necessary materials to go over to Misery Mire, clear that out, go up the GT, and you'll be set for life.
Yeah.
And this is especially good for Orange, because he cleared out Desert Palace earlier than Gus did. And not to mention too, Plasma Kappa has yet to finish off Desert Palace as well. But Plasma Kappa is heading over there right now. Has gone to Sanctuary, picked up what just happened, and needs to go over towards this. Is going to head for. Wait. Okay, he's gonna turn this. He's gonna do the sick kid. Okay, I got confused. Like, wait, why is he heading over here? Oh, right, sick kid, because it doesn't have the flute yet because he needs to go to Ice Palace. Powder only gives out 20 rupees, but again, we figured out where we need to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's hope that Orange is not going to follow specifically that Cane of Samaria that they're going to get off of the Purple Chest Thief, because they should definitely do, or like they have to do Pyramid Fairy to get that Quake and be in go mode. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa is gonna do all those like one-off locations that they left. Ice Rock Cave was one of them. They skipped that.
Looking like so he's gonna follow the cane, which is unfortunate. So, which is unfortunate. Because at this point, I mean, yeah, I totally get it, dude. I totally get it. You found the cane. You found the cane. You're thinking it has to be Turtle Rock, right? Which, of course, it's not. It's just a shield. Gus may have a better shot, right? Well, and even no, he does have a better shot because he never found either.
Yeah.
So at this point, I would put Gus ahead. Like, really, because he cleared out Desert, and he never got the Ether Medallion, which is where. Or no, he did. Oh, that. Okay, thanks to our tracker for picking that up. So, this is gonna be a tough one. Mm-hmm. So, but actually, this is gonna be good news for Plasma Kappa now, because Plasma Kappa is now in Ice Palace. He's gonna clear this out, and he will be in go mode.
Yeah. So, fittingly for a red stick, turns out the Cane of Samaria is a bit of a red herring for Orange here, and potentially also for Gus. The Turtle Rock having a much higher item density. There's 5 items in Turtle Rock plus the Mimic Cave, which is 6. So, compared to the 2 on Pyramid Fairy, I mean, it's a reasonable play.
Yeah, and it does hurt, honestly, for Orange to head over here. This Turtle Rock gets long. It's long. It gets very, very long. Plasma Kappa is actually doing Icebreaker, which is another recent glitch that was just unbanned by the Racing Council.
Yeah, that one is always a joy to watch.
Yeah. It makes the dungeon a lot quicker.
Oh yeah.
A lot less tedious.
Yeah. Obviously, you'll still want to know the Ice Palace bomb jump in case the Cane of Samaria is in this dungeon. You can't do the icebreaker, but if you do have the Gain of Sumari going into Ice Palace, this is the glitch to learn because it makes it a lot faster and a lot easier to traverse.
And looks like, okay, so he didn't. So Gus was using the flute, but decided, you know what? I have Pyramid Fairy, and this is excellent because now Gus is going to be in go mode. And this is also good for Gus as well, because Gus has already finished up Desert Palace, and Plasma Kappa has not done it.
Yep.
So this will put Gus in the lead.
Yeah, Gus did not take that bait, that red herring. Gus thought, I'm already in the vicinity. This is 2 checks I can do. I got these crystals pretty early on. Let me go do that.
Yeah, and this dungeon, I mean, and like I said, this dungeon is Turtle Rock is not a fun dungeon to go through. Like it gets long. It gets very, very long.
Yeah, it's also pretty easy to die in, as Orange is demonstrating here, struggling with the change homes, which is just one of the many trials in this dungeon that can just completely wreck your day.
But at 129.06, Gus is the first player in go mode, and this is looking to be it's a very strong lead here for Gus. And Plasma Kappa will soon be entering go mode. Plasma Realm will get the flutes from off of Cold Stare. We'll have to go and get the purple chest to get the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, so Rylan is not that far behind. Smith Chain, in all things considered, is not that bad, and with having Quake already, or all 3 medallions in general, Rylan knows their go mode item is going to be the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, and
wait, hold on. Oh no, sorry. It must be under the shovel in the inventory. I was like, hold on, did Rollin not pick up the flute? But no, it has to be under the it's saving quitting to Sanctuary here. Okay. It's I was getting a bit nervous there for a moment.
No. Because the shovel and the flute occupy the same slot. This is a more of a randomizer thing, and not because the vanilla game, as soon as you use the shovel goes away and you get the flute. If you use the mushroom, that goes away and you get the powder.
Yeah, and the red boomerang replaces the blue boomerang.
Yeah.
But the random devs have added these, so you can switch between both of these items, and you can keep the shovel, the blue boomerang, not the mushroom though. Why would you? That one's just dead weight in your inventory if you have it.
And you can switch to the silver from the silver arrows to the regular arrows.
Wooden arrows, yeah.
Yeah, but why would you want that?
Yeah.
I know that was a thing in version 18, where you wouldn't switch from the wooden arrows to the silver arrows if you ever picked it up.
The reason why you might want to use wooden arrows over silver arrows is because silver arrows, because of the sparkles they leave behind, they lag the game a lot more. So in certain, like say if you want to use the bow in the gauntlet, because you like using the bow in the gauntlet, you have an easier time using the wooden arrows rather than the silver arrows. And of course, certain modes, say retro, to mention it again, where the different types of arrows cost different kind of money. Using the wooden arrows is more cost efficient than silvers.
Yeah. So Plasma's also in go mode, and like I mentioned, he needs to go and finish up Desert Palace, and that's the basis for that's the basis for why I'm saying that Gus is in the lead.
Yeah, Gus just needs to find the Misery Mire Big Key, kill Vitreous, and then is on the way to Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, Plasma Kappa is going to have to clear that, so then do all of Misery Mire. It's looking like the Big Key is going to be in the cutscene chest, which is always a pain in the rear. Yeah, it's... Raylan is on the right track to getting into Gomod as well, picking up that Kingdom of March soon. He's going to do the bat first.
Yeah, and this especially hurts because we did remember seeing that Plasma Cat went into Turtle Rock, found absolutely nothing because that's not where you were supposed to be going anyway. Orange had fell for the red herring and of the cane and opted to leave that alone. Now, what Gus did, what Gus did was he actually went through the Dark World and then mirrored in front of the purple chest guy in order to get the item, and that way round it in with the Pyramid Fairy. Orange decided to do it, went to flute all the way over there. And that was the basis for Orange's decision, because he didn't have the mirror portal.
Also, I just noticed that the Molus had the half magic. Nice.
Yeah, half magic is always nice to have. Orange to get the green potion and the blue pendant, and Rowan is actually heading in for Misery Mire, assuming that the cane is actually in Mire, which is not. It's a Gombo dungeon.
Oh boy. Interesting that Raylan and Kier opted to do Mire area before delivering the purple chest, because they already went to do the bat, you know? They were doing the bat earlier, so...
And it's actually gonna... So Orange is gonna keep going in Dark Death Mountain, and it's actually heading over towards Spike Cave, which doesn't feel good.
At least first is gonna pick up that basement item in Power Terra.
That too, yeah. I'm surprised that Gus is not opting to go... Okay, there you go. Now you're gonna do the Space Invaders Vitreous fight. I say Space Invaders Vitreous because it's like playing a game of Space Invaders. You shoot one silver arrow into a small eye, and it goes down to one hit. It's like in Space Invaders, except the Blubber ship is actually the big eye Vitreous, and that takes 2 shots instead of 1, for some reason. It's actually more so Galaga, more honest, if I'm honest, because the Galaga needs 2 hits to kill.
Fun fact: Vitreous out of all the enemies that can be damaged by silver arrows, Vitreous and Ganon are the only enemies that take more than 1 silver arrow.
But, as we're thinking about it too, Gus has gotten all 7 crystals, and we're not going to run this bot. May want to wait until a little bit later, because after this is over, we're going to be moving directly over to Link to the Past Randomizer, but there are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the big key could potentially be. From 1 to 22, get your guesses in chat where you think the big key might be. Red Armor, where do you think the big key is going to be?
I'm going to say Bob's chest. Because I always like guessing Bob's chest when I'm commentating.
I'll put a little bit of an easy... I'll give the runners give the C, like the runners a break here, and put it pretty early on. Let's say like 3 or 4.
You only get 1 guess. You can't say. Well, in that case, I'll see it's somewhere between 1 and 22.
1, comma 3, union 3, comma 4.
No,
union 4,
get your maths out of here.
I'll say 4, okay? I'll say 4.
Okay, I'll accept 4.
Alright, Gus is gonna break the seal from this of Ganon's Tower. All guesses will close as soon as Gus enters the tower.
Yep.
Oh, and Orange is now in go mode, got the Quake, and 21 Chested Sword separates Gus from getting the big key and completing the seed. Actually, no, he hasn't done that yet. Let's do this. Right, because he did Spike Cave. He needs to mirror and then save and quit. Number 1 is 20 rupees, going to the left side first.
Okay. Let's see if Gus opts to mirror out of the Stalfus room or continue on the left side.
Looked like he was gonna head that way. Didn't kill the Stalfos, was heading for the Magician strat.
Mm-hmm.
I say Magician strat because literally Dark Magician and Pink Magician fall the same way, but it's often gets confused.
The end result is different.
Yes.
With Pink Magician, you go to this right side room where those 4 chests are. I think that's the compass room, and then you mirror out and go back to the left side. And Dark Magician would be if you continue full right, so you go from the compass room through that portal and go straight to Bob's chest and Ice Hermos, and then you do left side.
Yeah. Now Orange is in go mode at 139, around 138, just before 139.
Yeah. And it's basically one Mizumar behind Plasma Kappa here. Raylan is now finally doing the Smith chain. Will get their go modes very shortly after. So it looked like earlier, around the time where the runners were converging in Swan Palace, what looked like, a very close race where there was no significant lead has actually become a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, and Gus is in the full driver's seat. And actually, Gus is doing the full Dark Magician route.
Yeah.
And this is where you would find you get to Bob's chest earlier. We're coming up to number 11. Number 12 is going to be in Bob's chest.
Yeah, and
also, hi Bob.
Hi Bob. Between 13 and 15, then behind Ice Hammers, if that is not the key here.
Red mail. I mean, that works.
Well, I'll take it, but Gus apparently is not happy about it.
No, it's not bad. It's nice, but I mean, to be fair,
some runners have a vendetta against the red mail. I don't know why.
Right.
Just
it's literally quarter damage. If blue mail's like half damage,
some runners like calling it a coward's mail. So some sort of prestige thing going on maybe. That said, I do like how the red Zora looks, but it's on the left side. Right side is not the play.
If not, then it's in Tower Room.
Oh yeah, that's true. It could still be in Tower Room. At least we all of the runners have the cave, making Tower Room a bit less of a hassle. So if that is the case, let's hope it isn't though, because eesh.
But Plasma Kappa is about to go up to Ganon's tower. He finished up Misery Mire, and on the way over to Ganon's tower right away.
Yeah, if Plasma Kappa opts to go full left first, or Hope Room then full left, might catch up a little bit to Gus's lead.
Yeah. This means that if he does full right, then does Hope Room then left, then full left. This means so as long as the big key is not in the Tower Room, this will put Gus and Plasma Kappa kind of close by, and it would mostly just come down to whether or not Gus either takes a Moldorm fall, a Ganon fall, and that would put Plasma Kappa ahead of the lead. But we'll see what happens here as Plasma Kappa enters GT.
Yeah, I mean, there is a small key here in Hope Room, so the likelihood of 2 even, wow. Plasma Kappa is taking the right route. We know that's not what you go. Oh, well, there it is.
In Random Room.
Chest.
And now I didn't count what that was.
We were 15 after Ice Almost. Fire Snake and Firebar were 16 and 17, so this must have been 18.
Yeah, and the closest one is going to be one of our own trekkers, Derek Sharna. So congratulations, you win internet points. Yay!
You win internet points and a 10% off coupon to Vitreous Vineyard.
With mint chocolate chip ice cream added onto it. Because
all right, we can.
Because mint chocolate chip ice cream is the best ice cream flavor. Don't at me.
All right, and Plasma Kappa also is going to do full right here first. That is. Oh no! I'm just grabbing the key. Okay, It's getting late here. I'm getting a bit delirious.
Yeah,
this seat has been very long.
Yeah, it's been a pretty long seed.
Yeah. All right, so Gus, on the way through the gauntlet. All right, so Plasma Kappa is going left after this, of course. No pile room gambles, luckily. Wait, where's Raylan going?
He's going through Super Bunny Cave.
Raylan already completed Mire?
Yeah, he finished up Mire, and Orange is actually going to be has just finished up Mire too. He took so Rowan took a different route compared to Orange.
Okay.
Mire.
Yeah, I was paying attention to Gus and Plasma Kappa, so I didn't see when Raylan overtook Orange there.
Yeah, Rowan took a different path compared to Orange through Mire, and that was what is putting Raylan in the lead. Or at least in the lead in terms of between Orange and Raylan. Gus finishes off Land Mode 2, and it's going to go to Wizards 1 and 2. Honestly, one of my favorite rooms, because it's so satisfying. Like, watch this. Yeah, if you thought that was pretty satisfying, then wait until you see this. Wizard 2. Satisfying is all get out. If that isn't satisfying, I don't know what is. I don't know what your definition of satisfying is.
My definition of satisfying is a very clean hallway. Or a very clean cold stair fight is also very sad.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Where get them trapped in the corner and just can wail away at them. Oh, man.
Yeah, Gus did that during his run through...
Raylan, no!
So this is bold of Raylan. I appreciate the Hail Mary, but it's not gonna work. I appreciate it.
I assume Raylan feels behind. That's why.
Probably, yeah.
Well, either feels behind or does it for the memes. So
Yeah. I mean, Gus is gonna go and finish up Ultram too. So Orange is heading for full left, but he's heading for left right now. Could opt for Dark Magician strats or Pink Magician strats, whatever. Just Magician strats again. Like the different names is just confusing as all get out. But Gus is on Ultram too. Just 2 slashes and you're good to go.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, every runner has the gold sword. Every runner has the silver arrows. We got a powder. We got some red and blue mails, depending on which routing.
And Gus is a thief stealing from Moldrum 2's 20 rupees, his whole entire life savings. How dare you?
That is vanilla, actually.
No.
Speaking of ice cream flavors.
Speaking of ice cream flavors.
And we're on to Aghanim 2. Let's see if we have some gross... Yeah, oh, that is one of the grossest patterns I've seen in a long time. Wow.
What did we do? What did we ever do to you, Aga? What the heck?
And he's already starting with the blue balls too. Man, this is no bueno.
Gaga, what did we ever do to you? We
Kill him?
kill him once, yes, but yes, because you
one
killed, like,
time. We killed him one time.
You killed us. You gave us 8 blue balls. There, now just sit down. All right, we're gonna kill your alter ego, which is Ganon. Actually, I guess it's Ganon's alter ego, but still.
You kill a guy one time and then he wants revenge, you know?
Yeah, like what the heck? Oh, Orange is also doing the full dark magician as well.
And wow, okay, I haven't seen the red mail spread for Samus for a while now, and it's the dark suit from the Metroid Prime series. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and now Gus is on the Ganon fight. Well, Plasma Kappa is about to make their way to Moldorm 2.
Yeah. Obviously not to jinx it, but there is still opportunity for Plasma Kappa to catch up if Gus. What?
What are you doing?
What? What?
Oh, wait, I think I know why. He's throwing away his bombs just so he has a better menu position. I think.
Oh, for like switching between stuff?
I think
Guess
so,
that makes
yeah.
sense.
I think so. It would make sense. It would make sense. Phase 4 Silver is Ganon's true weakness. That's recently added from version 31 because of the progressive bow system. That used to originally bugged.
If you picked up only one of the bows, he will tell you where it is as usual.
And get your GGs in the chats for Gus. And
that was quick.
Yeah, that was quick, yeah. So we're going to get our official test roll time as Gus is going to cross the 1x3 bridge. Gus is going to be finishing first place with an official SRL time of 1:49.42 on the restream and also overall.
Congrats on the win to Gus. See, a Turley with Gus is good.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I missed I downplayed Gus's play. That's the first thing I want to say. I apologize for downplaying Gus.
You couldn't have known if you never caught a race of it. But Plasma Kappa into Ganon after Gus got him.
Phase 3 for Plasma Kappa as Orange and Rellin are just making their way through the battle with GT. Rellin, about to climb the tower now, is got that big key from Alpha Rando Room, and Orange will soon get that too.
Yep. The gap between Raylan and Orange closed a bit again after Raylan did that tile room gamble and went to the right side with that red mail, or routed the full right with the red mail.
That's a nice phantom hit, but that was also pretty good. No torch glitch, but of course we have silver arrows, so you don't have to worry about that. But get your GGs in the chat for Plasma Kappa, and he will be placed on our restream. We'll get our official SRL time as well. He will be finishing second with an official SRL time of 1:51.33, also finishing second overall. And of course, send help.
Send help, indeed.
So, we're going to have to be pretty quick about this too, since just after we're done, after this is over, we are going to have a match of the ALTTP League playoffs. Just right after this.
Yeah.
If you want to check the schedule, feel free to check the schedule for what is on the speed game right now. And we're joined by Gus and Kappa at the same time. GG.
GG's to both of you.
GG, thank you.
First of all, Gus, I'm sorry that I downplayed you. I thought I never seen your play, and I'm like, and then I see you finishing first. I'm like, okay, I should not be downplaying your play.
Well, I can't blame you, because yeah, I feel like this is not my strongest play, neither like execution or just like routing in general. Like I honestly can't believe I finished.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that like worked out to my favor was that flute, really, because of that I didn't have to like dip into the third rock.
Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second, but first, we all, just to give you guys a heads up as well, we only have like about 10 or so minutes, a bit less than that, because like at 05, the league match that is slated up here in this channel is going to start, so we don't have a lot of time for a lot of chatting. That said, Plasma Kappa did take Turtle Rock Dive, did find that Cane of Samaria before the flute.
Yes, you remember that the Pyramid Fairy was like, oh, this is going to work out, and it did not work out.
Yeah, and Orange had also fell for that same red herring in Kane, but was actually about one item away from Gomo at that point. That would have been the Quake in Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that's kind of some like a lot of the routing was dependent on when you found the Cane of Samaria. Like everybody was kind of like around the same lead, or like not lead, but like around the same time. I would say, all of the runners kind of converged in Swamp Palace, and were like within minutes of each other. So it was like it wasn't a clear lead. But then Cane of Samaria turned up for some, and for the others it was the flute, and the flute was the better item to find, so to speak, before the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, well,
Rando's gonna rando,
Rando is
rando.
it's very hard not to take that bait.
Yeah.
Oh no, you had like a lot of choices going into the late game. Either it was ice, Turtle Rock, or it was either ice. It was ice, and then if you got the cane there, then it would have been like Turtle Rock or somewhere else. And it just turned out that Turtle Rock was just not the answer after getting the cane from off of the purple chest. And then the flute showed up in Cold Stare, and we were worried that because Gus and Orange both had went to Ice Powers while you went over to Turtle Rock. It just so happened that Orange went over to get that red herring, but Gus didn't follow for that red herring. So, yeah.
Yes. I
Rowan-
believe in my friend Sick Kid. That was the first bottle on Trinex.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
There was
bottles
another
were pretty. Those bottles were pretty buried deep in the sea. That was actually kind of ridiculous.
There was one at Lake Hylia.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, like one was at Lake Hylia, one was on Trinex, and one was somewhere in GT.
I'm curious what
the-
Raylan is doing. Raylan was I think looking for a ferry. And now, okay, so Raylan is going to drop down Ganon right now. So actually, this is going to turn out to be fairly close, but then again, we have similar fights, so Raylan will probably be finishing before Orange.
Yeah.
Now, a fall would pretty much.
...2 minutes within each other, so it still could have gone either way.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so at this point, Rowland and Orange are now neck and neck at each other. Rowland's gonna enter phase 3 first.
Yeah, Rala is like 2 stomps of phase 3 ahead. This is just like, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe.
Right.
So, depending on how Rollin does not get the touch glitch, but also kind of like a nasty teleportation there for the Silver Arrow locations, but does kill Ganon just before Orange does.
Yeah.
Orange
but-
just barely missing the triple there, and takes Ganon down too.
Yeah,
So
get your
both of
GGs.
those, yeah, get your GGs in chat for both Raylan, Tankier, and Orange.
Yeah. But also get your GGs in the chat for Orange to cross the 1x3 bridge. We finished up with the seed once and for all. Or wait, huh? What the heck happened?
Huh?
What?
What?
What? Wait, that was a very delayed death. I have no clue what happened.
I wasn't watching. I was looking up the SRL times, which is Raylan, Tankier, and Orange not only taking 3rd and 4th on the restream, but also overall. So we got like all the first through 4th places on the restream as well. Finishing off with an official SRL time of 1 hour 57:55 and 1 hour 58:19 respectively.
Yeah. So while we're gonna just go through the brief schedule really briefly before we move on over to the ALTTPR League match. Team Kappa, WJPTBB, Fear Agent versus Willow J. Bradley. This is gonna be a pretty hype match, so definitely don't want to skip out of this one. But on Speed Gaming, currently on Speed Gaming number 1, we have a match of Clown Parade versus Pug Trio. Dark Heroes versus Andy, very hype match. Speed Gaming 3 is the Portal 2 Speedrun Mondo SLA tournament match, and then we have the Diablo 1 PvP Championship match, Game Train versus Local Day, and Speed Gaming 4, or Speed Gaming 4 is actually going to be so here on Speed Gaming 4 we have Active Boker and Wall Kicks. This is going to be what is going to be coming after this.
Yeah, like literally once we close out, like just a few minutes, and they're starting like in like 4 minutes. So you know we gotta keep this quick. Yeah. If you're interested in what other stuff is coming up, feel free to check out the schedule. I just let the bot spit it out. We're gonna have to wrap up here to make way for that league match that Renderer just mentioned. Give our 4 runners a follow. Unfortunately, we did not have time to talk with Orange or Raylan. GG's again to Gus and Kappa. And of course, shout outs to our trackers, Razor Flame and Darak, and to my co-commentator, Professor Renderer. We're gonna... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll just speed through this here. Speed Gaming 1 has a SMC3 1v1 match. Double Dippers, CLW, ALTTP League match. Speed Gaming 5, another League match, and then SMC3 1v1. And then Speed Gaming number 6 has Pug Trio and Clown Parade. Yeah, and if you want to follow the schedule, just keep note of that too. So, all right. So, don't go away. You'll be here. Don't go away. And we'll take it easy. May all your seats not be ridiculous. Have Aga be pretty nice this time around. And I'll take it easy.
All right. See you guys later, and keep staying tuned because this race upcoming is really good. See ya.
See ya.